Hello, beautiful lady. Welcome back to Higher Self and I. I have such a cool concept for today's podcast episode. I cannot wait to dive in, and it is possibly one of my favorite things to talk about when it actually comes to content, but we're looking at it from the perspective of energy, the perspective of subconscious beliefs, and then we're going to have a look at it as the embodiment piece of your content. And that is the fact that your clients and your audience actually doesn't want you playing at their level. And I think a lot of the time we dull ourselves down, or we don't talk about our wins. I know certainly I do that every now and again. I call myself out on it. But what actually your clients and your audience want is you playing at a level that makes them feel expansive, that makes them feel growth, that makes them see what's possible. And if it is triggering them, one, they may not be the right audience or clients for you, or two, they need to be triggered to move. And it is okay that you are that trigger. Now, I had to do a lot of work on that because me triggering people, whoa, it takes me right out of my comfort zone. It actually, for me, was one of the things that I have to do a lot of work on, because people pleaser at heart unite. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to like me. And I just can't control that anymore, Rebecca. Like, I cannot. I've come to the sheer conclusion that not everyone's going to like me, that people will be triggered by me, that people might even find me really freaking annoying, that they unfollow me. But quite frankly, if I keep playing to those people, I am going to get nowhere myself. And really, I'm letting them win. And I don't want that. I want what I want for my life. And it's time for you to truly stand in that too. Now, your clients learn from you by one, watching, and two, observing you. So your clients, your community, the people who follow you on all of the social media platforms that you see, they are learning by observing and watching you. And when you are winning, when you are truly stepping into that winner's mentality, that pioneering the way, leadership, that's when people want to come into your space. That's when people want to learn from you. And I see so many female entrepreneurs holding themselves back from actually speaking about what they've achieved, or what they're doing, or what they're going on to do, or what their motherfucking dreams are, that they dull themselves down so they're not winning, to think that it's going to sign them more clients, and it doesn't. Look, I have been there. Like, I've really been there. It's going to be a vulnerable one, guys, today, because this is a big belief of mine. The too big-headed, the get off your pedestal, don't talk about your wins, let's make everyone happy, dull yourself down so everyone can be okay to be around you. And I have led my life a lot living from that belief, and it didn't get me the performing arts career I fancied, and it stopped me for a while getting the business that I wanted. And actually, what I found is the more that I was winning, the more successful I became, the more I spoke about that, the more people wanted to come into my world anyway. When you're winning, people want to come into your space, and it's about having the belief system and having the confidence to stand in the winning. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to only be speaking about you and the things that you've been doing and the things that you're going on to do as part of your content piece. I do a lot of my winning content from embodiment. I do that anyway. I really practice what I preach, walk my walk, talk my talk, and a lot of my embodiment of my life is showing my ideal clients that. However, the thing that I'm working on at the moment is really allowing myself to speak about what I have achieved, to speak about what I've done. And I remember a time back in May of 2021, I have spoken about this before, so if you've heard it before, the story is incoming. But there was quite a few business besties that I had. Like, there was quite a big group of us that kind of all did the same courses in 2020. We all did the same. Like little courses. We all pretty much had the same one-to-one mentor. Like, there was a few of us, and I remember May of 2021. I did a live, which I've also talked about before. But in May of 2021, things started happening. Traction started happening. I had pushed the snowball up the motherfucking hill for 2 years, and the snowball started to roll. What we call the snowball effect. The snowball started to roll, and things were happening, and I was going places, and I was celebrating, and I was talking about it. And lo and behold, the people who had been kind of on my level, as I started to up level, were like, Beck, what the fuck are you doing? Please teach me. Teach me what you do. And I find that this is a huge content pillar that a lot of the really highbrow, huge coaches use. You know, they show them winning, and you want a bit of that. You want to see what they're doing. You want to be in their space. You want to be in the room. You want to understand what they're doing to win. And actually, the more you can show that and the more you can show up in that, the better. Now, there's a really fine line between what we call bro marketing winning versus actually being like in the win and in the energy of like, holy shit, this is happening to me. I'm gonna show you because, wow, if I can frickin' do it, you can frickin' do it. And I think there's so much power in you showing that in your content and as the embodiment of who you are to really show your clients what is possible for them. It's a big part of my content strategy, that transformational content. Equally, even bigger now, I'm really stepping into speaking more about my wins and speaking more about my success. But it's a huge embodiment piece that you can tap into. And this is why your clients and your audience don't want you playing at their level. If you play at at their level, if you speak to their level, if you speak to that, you're going to keep them in that level. You are there to lead the way. You are there to like wave the path. You are there to make the path. And actually, you need to be the one standing there doing the uncomfortable things, pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone and showing that you do that in order for them to see not only what is possible, but that you are doing it and they want to learn from you. So the embodiment piece around that is so, so important. So how does that feel, just knowing that as a reframe? Your clients learn from you by watching you, by observing you. I know that is a huge part of my one-to-one when my one-to-one clients come in, and I teach them how I subconsciously market, and I teach them how I show up online, and I teach them the intricacies of the strategy that I use to sign the clients. When I teach them that, they are observing me do it in real time. When I teach them boundaries, and I have boundaries in my business, that is showing them how they can hold boundaries with their clients. When I'm teaching them mindset routines and they see me do mindset routines, that's when it fills in the trust of what I am teaching. There is so many different pockets in my business where I show that, where I show the embodiment of me stepping into the winner, of me leading the way, of me making investments, of me being in the room with coaches who are doing way bigger things than I am, and going, hey, I'm going there. Are you coming with me? Of course they're going to come with me. And I think there's so much power in showing more of that for you, like for you to actually step in and go and look, if I'm winning, then my clients are winning. And that isn't a bad thing. Like, I need to remove that belief behind the fact of playing small or dulling my light or not shining as bright. You know, for me, that was a huge thing that I did. I remember having a conversation with my business bestie, and she was like, oh, someone's just messaged me and saw how much money that you made last year. and was really shocked that you'd made it because you hadn't spoken about it before. And I was like, okay, maybe that's a thing. And it doesn't always have to come down to a monetary share. You know, I don't do that very often anymore. But like, just from the space of like, I didn't even celebrate that. Like, it, you know, it's become my norm and whatever, but like, I didn't even celebrate that. I didn't step into that. I didn't become that. I didn't win that. And people didn't get to see that. People didn't get to see that. I didn't show that. So the more that we are winning, the more that we're allowing ourselves to be in the energy of winning, the more that we allow ourselves to be in the energy of leading, to be in the energy of like ambition, of driven, tenacious. Wherever you're going with your business, they will follow. They will want that. And this is where the kind of strategy where I speak to my higher level clients come in, because when I am speaking to my level 3s, which are really ideal clients for my one-to-one containers, when I'm speaking to my level 3s, it moves my audience quicker. They might feel quite far away from being a level 3 client right now, but actually me speaking to that makes them shift, makes them move, makes them go, whew, okay, I've got to get a wriggle on if I want to be in Becky's community. I've got to make some serious moves. I've got to step out of my comfort zone. I've got to take action, because not only do I see her doing it, but I equally see her speaking to that. And I want to be part of that team. I want to be part of that movement. I want to be part of that winning for them to really step into it. It shifts your audience in a completely different way. So what are you doing that's allowing your audience to watch you, that's allowing your clients to watch you, that's allowing your clients to observe you? What are you doing in the way of winning, in the way of leading, in the way of being that driven, ambitious female entrepreneur that you are? You know, how are you showing that? What does that look like? And I think that can come down to your values, the values that you hold, and how you step into that and how you show that. We've been doing a lot of work on values in the CEO Edge. You know, it was the whole first phase 1 of the CEO Edge, which is my group program. It was that was the whole first phase, because I really wanted them to play from their core purpose, their passion, their mission, and their values, and to be able to really send that out on social media for their clients to understand who they need to be and how they need to be and what resonates with them to be in their world. So you can show it from the embodiment piece, you can show it from the things that you're achieving and how you're achieving them, and create that story around it. You know, I don't just go on and go, woohoo, this is my client. I put some backstory in it. I tell my audience where they were. I tell my audience how they were feeling. I tell my audience what we did to move into that, giving them that gravitas behind the winning that you're creating. Not just flashing your fucking Stripe notifications every day. No, give them a purpose, give them a reason behind it. And I think this is the way that I'm really going to lead with this moving forwards. And you can watch me lead with this, but really speaking about my own success, I'm leading from a place of, this is where I was. You know, I resonate with a lot of people because I too was a struggling business owner for many, many years. And a lot of people resonate, and I get a lot of people messaging me being like, Beck, okay, if that was only 2 years away, like 2 years ago for you, that makes it feel less far away for me. And look at you now, look what you're going on to do now. And really standing in that, really showing that, really believing that. And that kind of brings me into the last part that I want to speak about today, is the belief behind it. You know, really having a look at the stories that you're creating, or the perceptions that you've taken on, or the beliefs that you've had since you were little. You know, I've spoken about mine, that stop you from being in that energy, that stop you from being in the winner's circle, that stop you from going, this is what I've created, and actually this is what I've gone on to create, I will go on to create, and that feeling safe to do so. And doing it in a way that feels good for you. Just like I said, you know, I'm doing it in a way that really makes my ideal client understand where I was versus where I am now and what I've done to get there. It doesn't have to be flashy if you don't want it to be, and it doesn't have to be monetary if you don't want it to be. You can show your lifestyle, you can show changes that have happened, whatever that looks like for you, but creating the safety around that in order for you to speak about it, in order for you to step into that, in order for you to be the trailblazer, in order for you to be that winner, to really push the boundaries of your life so your clients can see that it's safe for them to push the boundaries of theirs. That's what we want to create. And when you're winning, your clients are winning and your community is winning, and you can really create that sense of like, I'm going places and I'm taking you fucking with me. Like, that's the feeling that I want you to feel in my audience, and that's going to be amped up tenfold over the next couple of months and going into 2024. Let me tell you that. So, bit of a reframe for you today, a bit of a quicker one, but have a little look at the embodiment piece of how your clients are learning by watching you, by observing you, how you're showing up for your clients, whether it's in Voxer or Slack or wherever that is, and what you're showing, what you're being, what you're doing to help them see the next level. They don't want you playing safe. They don't want you they don't want you playing on their level. They're hiring you because you are the next level. You are that thing that they're wanting to know and understand how to get to. So really allow yourself to step into it. And I'm going to listen to myself as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Go and have a little think, have a little implement, and really embody that when you're winning, people want to come into your space, baby. I love you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Mwah.